So just what is it about the IPL? It's a place where careers are made. It's a place where families are uplifted. People see the kind of money they've never seen before. They play the kind of cricket that they didn't think they would. There's all this and much more, but more than anything else, it is where every top international player wants to be. I travel around the world. I've seen series in England, I've seen series in Australia, go to South Africa, and it's not very long into a conversation that the word IPL pops up. Everybody wants to know what's happening over there. Josh Butler comes to play the IPL. He goes back and says what a great event it is, and Ben Stokes wants to come here. Ben Stokes is the player of the series in one of the IPLs, and suddenly Sam Curran wants to play. And everybody wants from England now suddenly wants to come and play the IPL. You go to Australia and they've got their big bash, and it's a good tournament. They're all saying, so when is the migration going to happen? When are they going to come and play the IPL? Because the IPL is world cricket's biggest melting pot. All the cultures, all the talents, all the styles, they go into one melting pot, and everybody's learning from each other. The first new trends are spotted here. The counters to those trends are spotted here. South African learns from an Australian, a Kiwi learns from a West Indian, and a young Indian looks up at all the stars of the galaxy, and he's seeing how are they preparing, how do they practice, how do they handle different match situations, how do I learn to play situations from all these greats. It's one of the world's biggest learning experience. And when I say world, one of the cricket world's biggest learning experiences. And there's this osmosis that happens. I saw it happening in my first year. In the first year of the IPL, suddenly a West Indian and a Sri Lankan are sharing a bus together, and they're all laughing because eventually they all come from the same place. And I found that a fascinating aspect of the IPL. What else happens? It's not just a carnival, you know. It's a word that we use very often, and it's not the wrong word to use, but it's much more than just a carnival, much more than just a celebration of cricket. It is a grueling cricket tournament. You play 14 matches, you play a game, you're on a flight, you play a game, you're on a flight, you're traveling, you're playing up to 11:30, 12 one day, you can't sleep till 3:30, the adrenaline is still pumping, you've got an 8:30 flight the next day, then suddenly where you should be training, you're sleeping. It demands a lot out of you in terms of your stamina. If you're up and giving your best towards the end of May, as it normally happens, it's starting earlier this year towards the middle of May. If you're in the playoffs, if you're giving off your best in game number 14, 15, 16, 17 sometimes, then you have the stamina that's needed to play at this level. It's a tough tournament. This year, even more so for team management, because players will come in late. The Australians will finish their series in Pakistan. They'll come in a bit late. They'll leave by the 23rd. The mass migration, as I call it, of the Australians to India is a little muted this year. Around the 1st of May, you'll find that some of the South Africans will need to go back. Even players from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, they'll all need to go back, and team managements are starting to see, do I have adequate replacements in mind? How do I play the first leg? How do I play the first half and the second half? What about the Indians themselves? As the World Cup comes closer, they will want to preserve themselves for the big tournament. Yes, the IPL is a gigantic tournament, but so is the World Cup. And the fact that the World Cup is round the corner will affect the dynamics. At the first sign of a niggle, players will be rested. Where on another day they would have said, it's just 4 overs, go along, play another game, we'll rest you for 3 days before the next game starts. Now, at the first sign of a niggle, people will want to pull out. And so team managements will have to be extra cautious. There's elections around. The schedule will become will get topsy-turvy. All of a sudden, you had a 7-game schedule in your home ground. That may not happen this year. There have been election years before. There was 2009 when the entire IPL moved to South Africa, 2014 when you had a little bit in the Middle East and then came back to India. But this year, you don't know. It's all in India, but you're moving around. There have been World Cup years before. There's been a World Cup in 2011, there's been a World Cup in 2015, but both those were before the IPL. And now this year you've got a World Cup and an election together. You've got the timing that's different. This IPL is going to be challenged. Some might think it's only going to be maintenance IPL. Just let's get this IPL out. No. Try telling that to the players. Try telling that to RCB, for example. Try telling that to MI. Try telling that to Delhi Capitals, who are trying to show that they still will belong in the top tier of this IPL. So there's a lot at stake. As I said, it's a melting pot. Everyone in. There's so many young players to watch out for. And I'll tell you one other thing. When that IPL music plays on the first morning, everybody will be in. I've already been blown by the kind of crowds that are coming in just to watch the training. Just like United, it's like Real Madrid again when Chennai Super Kings come in and play. Everyone's in it. Suddenly you're not India. Just a little while ago, everybody in Chennai and Mumbai were cheering Virat Kohli along. What do you think is going to happen when RCB plays CSK or when MI play RCB? Are you cheering for Virat Kohli? Are you secretly thinking, oh, score runs for India, but not today, not against my team? So it's going to be a wonderful IPL. I've no doubt at all. So there'll be a bit of tiredness as you go along. There'll be more adrenaline as you go along. The loyalties and frustrations of the fans will come into question. But in the end, the IPL will continue to be a blockbuster because it is quite simply the #1 franchise league in the world. And of course, every game will be on Crickbuzz Live. As I told you in an earlier post, we've got a new partner. It's going to be MPL, the Mobile Premier League presents Crickbuzz Live, and we'll continue to have a lot of fun, have stories around it. We've got storytellers, we've got experts, and we'll try and relive all the fun and glory of the IPL with you. And this year on weekends, you can watch it in Hindi as well, so that there's a lot of you who've been hearing about all the fun that Crickbuzz Live is. So there you are. Let's just enjoy the IPL. Let's have a lot of fun, and then we'll go to the World Cup. But for now, it's all about the IPL.